Can I convince you to build Fire Ciri?
Could you please?
Fire Ciri is a heavy-hitting single-target damage dealer, and based off of her skills, she can be built on either Rage or Swift to maximize on her damage. So I will start off by demonstrating how different stats can affect her damage, even though according to this person, she deals no damage.
Bruh.
Here's her damage with Attack Leader skill, Attack buff, and Crit Rate buff. Now let's replace the Leader skill with Crit Rate. Attack Leader does a bit more, but now let's add a Speed buff. Let's put all of this together and attack on top of a Defense Break and Branding. Now let's try a Rage set with slot 2 speed. Slot 2 speed on Rage is the winner, and that is because her damage scales more with speed. But what really makes this unit worth building is her S2 that deals damage based off the enemy's max HP, which is available to use every other turn. This makes her great at doing things like this. This makes her a really good asset to add to some of your dungeon teams. Here are some of the dungeons people are using her in, and I'll show you some teams that you can use her with. People are using a team as simple as this to speed clear dragons. It mainly relies on Water Dalsum, also known as Water Poison Master, to deal most of the damage. You want Lauren to move first for the defense break, then Fire Ciri, then Dalsum. The birds will go right after to boost his attack bar back up so he can attack 2 more times. Ideally, you will want the Garudas on full fight runes to maximize the damage of your team. Fire Ciri should be built fast enough so that she gets another turn to attack the boss. This is important because she will either use her S2 on her first turn or her second turn because of her short cooldown. Even though this team works, there are some issues with it. I decided to show this run instead of a more fluid run so that you can see the issues. In this run, Water Dalsum was using his S1 when he received the attack buffs, which greatly reduces the damage he should be dealing. Also, the rune requirement is a little high for everyone to be able to pull this off. So I would suggest this alternative team if you're just trying to build a safe team with a decent run time. I had no issues while running this team, and it's great because you probably already have built these units. You can even try adding in Veramos if you don't have one of these units built yet for some reason. You can just focus the boss, but make sure your Spectra and Lauren have high enough accuracy to reduce the dragon and the right tower's attack bar. Now on to the next dungeon. Most people use a team like this with Fire Magic Knight to deal most of the damage. The only issue is that not everyone has Fire Magic Knight. So Fire Ciri is a great alternative unit to replace her now. And if you have been playing while the Witcher collab has been going on, you are more likely to have gotten a Fire Ciri by now. You can also replace Lauren for Shayna if you have her to clear the trash waves faster. If you don't know, this boss will halve the crit rate of your team. This is why you need someone like Fire Hellhound to boost crit rate. So what makes Fire Ciri really good for this dungeon is her passive skill that I'm pretty sure allows her to crit every attack without needing the crit buff. I could be wrong about this, but please let us know in the comments if you have any additional knowledge on this. The next dungeon she is really good for is Wind Beast. There's not much to talk about with this. She helps deal good damage and take down the beast faster. Besides PvE, she is also great for Guild Wars where you can activate her leader skill. For my first test, I took her into a very tanky windy team to test her damage. I set her up to one-shot the Archangel, but at that moment I realized something. Leo counters her passive, which is going to greatly reduce her damage.
NANI?!
So I decided to set a similar scenario up to see if I can nuke a Ramagos with over 50,000 HP. However, you want to use her specifically in siege battles against 4-star defenses like these people are doing. Here's an example of a team you can build with her. can also pair her with a galleon and water or dark jack-o'-lantern to fully maximize on her damage. I will now rank some areas of the game that people might want to build her for. We start off with dragons, which I would give her a solid B. There is better options, but she can help with speed clears and safe clears. I place Spiritual Realm as at B tier, but I think I would be willing to move her to an A or S if someone confirms my theory about her that I explained earlier in the video. She gets an I in Wind Beast simply because she deals consistent and high damage. I didn't talk about Raid 5, but if you watched my Raid 5 video, she can fit nicely into one of the backline Nuka roles. So for that reason, she gets a solid B for Raid 5. For Guild Wars, I'm giving her an A because I think she is great against a lot of 4-star defenses. For Arena, there's a reason I didn't showcase her there. She gets a D. You're not going to use her for any Arena offense teams or Arena defense teams. And for World Arena, she also gets a D.
Get over here!
Okay, she gets a C.
It's hard being a slick head. But it's real being a slick head.